there seems to be an issue in the way in which social media is organized when we compare it to the way in which our brain is organized, or many issues. And one of them seems to be that it's not only important for a brain to connect neurons, but also to separate them, to make sure that there is a certain context that you are getting when you are interested in answering a certain question, but not other contexts. So you want to filter out the noise. Curation is hugely important in the organization of an information processing network. And there needs to be some kind of feedback that optimizes this curation. And in a practical sense, it means that we have to give people an enormous amount of how they curate information. Often we look at the generations of freedom of speech. Every neuron in the network should be free to generate an arbitrary sequence of signals. And I think that makes sense. If you want to model the entire world, it doesn't make sense to limit the possible representations that are permissible in the system. It should be possible for you to articulate any kind of idea and look at it and evaluate it on its merits. But it doesn't mean that you want to listen to every possible ideas. And the crucial thing is not so much to limit the generation of ideas, because you cannot actually do that. You cannot stop people from thinking stuff or drawing stuff or making words up or making thoughts up and writing them down somehow. But what happens in social media that we are trying to limit what ideas can be heard. When Twitter threw Trump off the platform, it did not really limit this free speech of Trump. Trump could still say what he wanted, just not on Twitter anymore. And the issue here is that Twitter stopped some millions of people to listen to Trump, who wanted to listen to what he said. So Twitter was interfering with the curation of information. And I think that the freedom of choosing your own curation, of deciding what ideas you want to listen to in which context, that is a more fundamental right to an autonomous mind with agency over what it reads and thinks than the freedom to speak. Because freedom to speak is easy to implement. Really, what you need is freedom to listen. And there is a different question, that is, should you give every individual the freedom to listen to every kind of idea if the result is that your society might break down, right? Maybe many of the ideas are toxic viruses that are infecting people and drag them into universes that distort their perspective on the world.